musicians who make music for a living, like our entire lives can end up being consumed by our art, where there is no thing that we do for fun. So it's great that you have separated that out. Do you have any other hobbies? Are there any other things that you just love to do for fun, not necessarily as an escape from composing, obviously, but just as a, to give yourself a more well-rounded living?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. uh, this kind of goes along with cooking. I'm actually really interested in finding albums that match up with the perfect cooking time.
Oh, nice.
One time I listened to Caroline Shaw's like album Orange, and I was like, from beginning to end, from prep to the baking was finished, like I could make a loaf of banana bread, and I was like, this is amazing. And I've been interested in like this concept of like, okay, is there an album that kind of, or like, like one larger work that could fill up my time from when I start cooking to when I finish? My other kind of hobby is, which I could go on a tangent about this forever. I recently got into mechanical keyboards, like the tippy tappy typey keyboards, after like accidentally coming across a YouTube video, like I think a year and a half ago. And what sort of sucked me into this hobby, it's very expensive. I've invested a sizable amount of time, not as much money, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
I have
I.
expensive hobbies too.
This is my first expensive hobby, and I was just like, oh my god! Like every time I see a new keyboard, I'm like, I need this, and I have to tell my boyfriend, be like, hey, can you please tell me that I don't need this? He's like, you don't need it. Like, okay, thank you. But what got me into this hobby specifically was people's motivations for actually building keyboards. So, of the ways that you can build a mechanical keyboards for yourself, sound, feel, and aesthetics are the three main pillars of why people will build a mechanical keyboard. And I found the sound aspect to be really, really interesting. There are different sound profiles ranging from like, I think the descriptive words are clack, thock, and pop. Maybe like marbly, or sorry, creamy is the other one, which I don't necessarily like that one as much, but it's fine. I understand it. And so I was watching a couple of videos about people modding their keyboards, pre-built keyboards, people building their own keyboards, and I was like, wow, this is so interesting. And I can make this keyboard sound any way that I want it just based on a certain group of materials. This is amazing. So that's something that I will continue to dive into. I have another keyboard planned that I'm going to build this year. Maybe right now my keyboard on my desk, it's like my first real custom premium keyboard. I spent a lot of time and hard effort. She is a clacky girly, very loud, but I every time I listen to it, I'm like, wow, I made this and it sounds really good, even though I've been using it for I think like 6 months. And I was like, wow, I still like this 6 months after the fact.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble. So my next keyboard I'm gonna build, I'm not sure of like the profile. There's different like profiles. Like I'm thinking something more ergonomic. I'm getting old. I need to be concerned about my body more. But I wanted to have more of a stocky kind of like muted sound profile, just so I can have a variety of different sounds that I can tune into while I'm working.
So these are keyboards that you plug into your computer. They function like a keyboard would. You're just kind of, you're designing the physical object of them, but do you get to customize it to a degree where you can add functionality? I don't know anything about this, so I'm like kind of thinking about this out loud right now. And like, can you add, for example, some kind of function that would aid in your composing to a keyboard or anything
Yes.
like that?
Yes.
Cool.
So right now the way I have my keyboard set up is I have a 75%. Or if you take a full size keyboard, take off the number pad and then the home keys, and then kind of squish part of the home keys into the other part of the keyboard. That is a 75%. On the left side of my desk, I have a 10 key number pad that is a southpaw, so it's made for left hand users, or made to be used with your left hand. So with this combination, which is really incredible, fantastic, I've just now gotten used to it. I've had this for a couple of months now, the left-hand number pad. I use Sibelius. They have the hotkey number pad. So it's really easy actually for me to not even have my hand on the mouse. I do everything with two hands really, really easily, which has been a game changer. I can input and engrave just a lot faster now than I have before. And it's just like making work just more enjoyable.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Micromaker by Loose Leaf Transmissions. We hope you enjoyed this brief glimpse into the inner workings of the creative life. If this resonated with you, be sure to check out the full conversation on Music Maker with Tyler Kline, a podcast exploring craft and process, philosophy and inspiration, and the honest, often messy parts of being an artist, creative uncertainty, purpose and identity, and resilience. You can find Music Maker wherever you get your podcasts or by visiting musicmakerpodcast.com.